as the chaos and things take place in the market, we do see a rapid increase in that foreclosure rate. Florida's getting hit with probably the highest foreclosure piece right now, push right now, but it is happening, and God forbid that it turns into a worse situation in 2008.
Matters to us, and tonight there are new signs the economy has homeowners struggling. Foreclosures have increased for the 8th month in a row nationwide.
Callan Gray is here with how Minnesota ranks and what you can do now if you find yourself at risk. Callan?
A mortgage expert I talked to today tells me Minnesota is doing better than other states, coming in at 31 on the list of 50 states. Overall, nationwide, there were more than 36,000 foreclosure filings last month, a 3% increase from a month ago, and a 19% increase compared to last year.
Even though the numbers appear to be daunting, they're relatively low, and it's nothing compared to 07, 08. This is really a normalization, back towards a normalization. Post-COVID, we've had just a tremendously low number of foreclosures.
David Jameson owns Edina-based Rainbow Mortgage. He explains during COVID, there were low interest rates, moratoriums preventing foreclosure, and lenders were working with homeowners to postpone or reduce payments temporarily to help out, and that all kept foreclosures to a minimum. While any increase will seem significant because of that, Jameson says this is still something to keep an eye on because the economy is playing a factor, from people losing their jobs to the cost of food and gas to increasing homeowners insurance and property tax rates. So what can you do if you're at risk of losing your home?
The best advice I can give people is don't ignore it. It's tough. I understand that it's tough. If you have a lot of equity in the house, for sure, reach out to your lender, see what they can do.
If that doesn't work, he suggests the following. Reach out to government assistance programs. Ask family and friends for help to tie you over. Contact a realtor or sell your house to one of those companies that buys homes and pays cash. And if all of that fails, he suggests reaching out to a bankruptcy attorney to slow down the process. There's also the option of a deed in lieu of foreclosure, where you could voluntarily turn over your home to a lender to avoid the whole foreclosure process, Lindsay.
But you need to know your options. Good information, Callan. Thank you.
Yeah. Okay. So
foreclosure
she nailed it. So you've got a deed in lieu of foreclosure, which is a big piece. We got a deed in lieu of foreclosure. All that simply means is that you're going to take that property and hand it back to the bank. Is it looked at like a foreclosure? They say that it's not. This is a voluntary surrender. Don't know. It's really about the lender. You got to ask them that question. Next thing is call a realtor. You want to talk to a real estate agent. You want to find out how much you have equity in that property. And then that will actually position you to say, hey, I probably need to list it, or I probably need to call one of those guys that pay cash for the house. Okay. And no lie, we buy houses cash. We do buy houses cash. Okay. Leave a comment at the bottom if you need any of our services. Now, short sales are another issue. Short sales just basically allow you to sell the house for if you're upside down now or you're behind, and you don't have to worry about meeting the full amount that's necessary in your loan. Because I know some people are upside down. You never know. Okay. So short sales, check your lender and see if that's an option. Now, they say reach out to the lender. There are still programs that these lenders have that will help you maintain or keep that house. And that's important. You definitely need to reach out to them, find out if they have a program in place. All those different things will help you navigate the storm. It may just be a reset to your mortgage. It could be a prorate to your mortgage. It could be so many different things in relation to your mortgage. But either way, it's worth doing it. Okay, it's very much worth doing it. It definitely puts you in that place to be able to navigate the storms. Now, most of this is happening. A lot of this is happening in the Florida market. So let's take a look at that.
Rates are on the rise across the country, particularly here in Florida. According to real estate experts, the Sunshine State leads the U.S. Lenders in Florida started the foreclosure process on 1 in every 1,800 homes last month. And Tampa has seen the highest rate in the country. Fox 13's Aaron Mesmer shows us what experts think is driving these higher than normal numbers.
From 2020 to about 2023, home prices soared across Tampa Bay. Some families who bought their homes back then are now facing a harsh reality.
They would have to sell at essentially the same price they bought for because there has been a declining market. So they would need to bring roughly $10,000 to the closing table in order to avoid a short sale.
St.
Now, a short sale may be better because most people don't have. If you don't have 10, if you don't have 10,000 to actually pay the mortgage, then why would you have 10,000 to actually sell the house? It doesn't make any sense. So a short sale in that case is the best way to go about doing it.
Pete realtor Mia Annabelle with Smith & Associates explained what can happen next.
By the time we get that net sheet, they're negative. They can't sell, they can't afford the property.
And that can lead to foreclosure. Florida saw more foreclosures than any other state in October, according to Adam Davis.
So we see Florida, definitely California. We see that. We see what's that? Not Alabama. That's South Carolina, New York, different parts of New York, Utah, Nevada. Where else? Iowa, Illinois, Ohio. No doubt on Illinois. Definitely no doubt on Illinois. Definitely Nevada, and we all know California. I mean, California is probably one of the most expensive places to actually live at. So that's Delaware, Maryland. Wow. So total of the top 10, that's it right there. That's it right there, experiencing the highest level of foreclosure. Now, if you're someone and you're trying to get in real estate and you're in those spaces and in that state, in those states, or you can work in those states, or you have some type of remote way to actually do it, it wouldn't hurt to now start looking in those markets for opportunities, because you can actually do great things. You can help people avoid having a foreclosure on their mortgage while at the same time acquiring an asset. Now, it may suck for them, but that means all they got to do is repair their credit and go out and buy another place. Having a foreclosure on your mortgage can actually set you back 6-7 years before you're actually able to even buy it. If you're in a position to actually file for bankruptcy, it'll slow down the process. And if you have other debt lenders, it'll also allow you to be able to navigate those situations. So talking to a bankruptcy attorney, that's not a bad situation. That's nothing bad that I would say I would hold off in doing. I mean, that's a good look right there. So top 10.
A real estate analytics company. Tampa had the highest rate of all major cities, with 1 in every 1,373 housing units in foreclosure. Experts point to skyrocketing property taxes and insurance costs as major factors, but that's just the beginning.
It's really all prices and all costs associated with housing, whether it's HOA, whether it's interest on mortgage payments, whether it's interest payments. All of those costs are going up.
On top of that, daily expenses are up too. USF economist Michael Snipes says those added costs are often a big problem for retirees on a fixed income.
It's a huge investment. It's a huge source of spending for a lot of individuals. It's a huge part of their income. So any small change is going to be felt particularly acutely by individuals who might not have a whole lot of money.
Realtors say the best advice for families worried about foreclosure:
Have the conversation sooner than later. It's not going to go away. Sometimes we get called in and it's to a point where the bank has already started the process, and that gets very tricky.
In other words, don't wait until it's too late. In Tampa, Aaron Mesmer, Fox 13 News.
And 100% right. So guys, this is part of what's taking place right now. This is actually on the tip of a wealth transfer. And I keep saying it, like, we are looking at one of the largest wealth transfers that's going to take place in our lifetime. While people are losing houses and losing jobs, that money's going somewhere. Now is the time, I truly believe, if you just really screwed up for the last couple of years and you're like, hey, I didn't do too good, I got to do this, I got to do that, this is the perfect time to look at where you can now fit into this in position and be a receiver of some of this while you help people, because you can put people in good positions where they can turn around and buy another house in the next year to 2 years, where it's probably not as the turmoil and craziness won't be as high, probably. Who knows? But at least they'll be ready to fight for another day, be ready to buy another day. You can do that when you learn how to buy houses, wholesale houses, do creative deals on houses. Guys, check the Patreon also. I talk more about that because I've done a ton of those deals, and I will be happy to share them with you in the Patreon.